If you love me, please don't judge me. Got my hands tied, the power's above me. Don't shoot the messenger, I'm just a puppet here. If you wanna place blame, then look to the puppeteer. Family, fortune, envy, jealousy, privilege, passed on, legacy, secret, sabotage, borderline, felony, suicide, subtract, selfish, pedigree, yeah.
Alright, we are here. It is Throwback Weekend, the Darlington Throwback Weekend Review. So, of course, the Goodyear 400. So, let's go ahead, let's talk about this weekend. So, we had the truck race Friday night. And by the way, yes, I am throwing it back this week. I actually got Chase Elliott's Throwback Hooters shirt in before the race this weekend. So, that's actually pretty cool that it came in that quickly. Damn. I'm also throwing it back because I got Jimmy Johnson's 2013 championship hat. So yeah, throwing it back this week. The champ is throwing back this week. Your NASCAR heavyweight champ is participating in the Throwback Weekend, of course. So, of course, let's talk about this race. So you had the truck race, which was a bit of a shit show. There are a lot of wrecks, including one around 40 to go. We had a rarity at Darlington. The big one that took out 20 fucking cars. Or trucks in this case. Like, Jesus Christ. Wasn't Talladega supposed to be a couple weeks ago? What the hell's going on here? Like, does Darlington have us in some kind of, like, fucking gang-jitsu or some shit? Or gang-gitsu? Like, what the hell's going on? But yeah, after that little bit of a wreck fest, we then get the battle at the end, which was between Sheldon Creed and Ben Rhodes for the win. Some very aggressive racing between the two, but Sheldon Creed was able to outmuscle Ben Rhodes, and Creed finally gets his first win of the season. So the reigning Truck Series champion is now on the board. So now of the three champions last year, two of them have now found victory lane this year, and one has yet to find it. I think you know which one it is. Don't worry, it's coming soon. So yeah, Creed gets his win, and that means the reigning Truck Series champion is officially going to have a shot to defend his title in the truck chase. Anyway, let's go on to the Xfinity race. The Xfinity race, it was pretty meh. Very quiet race. Like, mainly the race at the end, it was between Allgaier and Josh Berry. Both Josh Berry, of course, running the Dale Jr. Throwback, and Justin Allgaier running the throwback to our Lord and Savior Dale Earnhardt, or Dale in this case. And you know, it was a pretty iconic image seeing Allgaier pass Berry with those two running throwback schemes. Really gonna get everyone in the feels there with Dale and Dale Jr. schemes. But in the end, Allgaier hangs on at the end, and Allgaier gets his second win of the season. Okay, racing gods, what's the catch? How is Allgaier gonna get screwed over this year when it comes to the postseason? What's gonna happen this year in the Xfinity chase? And initially in this race, Noah Gragson would lock up the $100,000 Xfinity Dash for Cash for the third time this year. Or so you thought. It's a genjutsu, because we'll hold up. We got a penalty. Beep. Because Noah Gregson's car failed post-race inspection. So as a result, Noah has been disqualified, which means AJ Allmendinger, who now finishes 12th, wins the Dash for Cash. Well, and that actually is the closest we've come to a disqualified winner this year in Xfinity. No Noah Gragson having a Dash for Cash win taken away from him via DQ does not count. It has to be a race win for my predictions, not a Dash for Cash win. So no, we have not had a DQ winner in Xfinity yet. Gragson, though, that is probably the closest we've come to that entire Reddick's second place being taken away via DQ at Homestead. And also with Gragson being DQ'd, I think it's safe to put that myth to rest about Toyota teams always cheating. It's obvious they're not cheating when Chevy and Ford teams are also getting DQ'd as well. Let's be fucking real. Everybody in the sport cheats. There's one rule with cheating. don't get caught. And let's be real, Noah Gragson, we're not giving his team shit for cheating. We're giving him shit for it because his team was dumb enough to get caught for it. Like, hell, for fuck's sakes, cheating was very predominant in the fucking 70s and 80s, and even the 90s when Jeff Gordon came in. Hell, Junior Johnson was like the most notorious cheating car owner, for fuck's sakes. And a lot of teams cheat because just to try and get an advantage or an edge over the competition. It's part of the sport and the game. The one rule of cheating is simple. Do not get caught, or you're going to end up getting clowned for it and mocked for it. Just ask the Houston Astros when they were busted for cheating with their World Series title scandal. Anyway, enough of that talk. Let's talk about Formula 1 also this weekend. Because F1 happened in Spain. Well, this weekend it would have Lewis Hamilton get a career milestone by accomplishing his 100th career pole. God damn, Lewis Hamilton did hit the triple digits in something. 100 poles. Damn, that's actually impressive. So Lewis Hamilton continues to prove to all the F1 fans why Lewis should be the undisputed GOAT. Don't worry, Lewis, if you get 8 championships and over 100 career wins, then all the F1 fans will have no choice but to admit Lewis Hamilton's the undisputed GOAT of Formula 1. If Lewis gets 8 titles and 100 wins, then it's no more debate. But yeah, anyway, in this race, though, Verstappen would take the lead right off the bat. And Verstappen would dominate this race for the most part. Until Mercedes were able to outsmart Red Bull on strategy again. And then Lewis was able to pass Verstappen on pit strategy with leading the race. Mainly because of Red Bull's lack of reacting and responding to Mercedes' pit strategy calls. So in other words, this race was pretty much Hungary 2019 all over again, when Red Bull failed to react to Lewis and Mercedes' pit strategy calls, and that allowed Lewis to steal the win from Verstappen late. And it happened again. And Lewis ends up winning in Spain. And so that's now win number 98 for Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis is only 2 wins away from reaching 100 career wins. 2 wins away from that milestone. Verstappen ends up getting second and the bonus point for fastest lap of the race. And Bottas gets third again. So we've had the same podium once again for the 3rd time in 4 races. I believe the only time we didn't have a podium of Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas was in Moa when Bottas crashed out and Lando Norris ended up on the podium. That was like the only time that we haven't had a Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas podium this year. And there was also a point in this race where Bottas ignored team orders on pit strategy. Oh, Bottas broke the golden rule when you're in a contract year. Ignoring team orders. And Bottas just put himself on the hot seat further. Bottas, if you're trying everything in your power to stay at Mercedes, ignoring team orders is not the way to do it. That's just going to prove that you really don't give a damn anymore. And Bottas, you better not look too far because George Russell might be working over your shoulders for that seat. Oh yeah, and of course, next week, IndyCar's back, though, with the Indy Roval. So yeah, because it's the month of May, so we'll have all the IndyCar racing at Indianapolis. And of course, next week from F1 will be 2 weeks will be Monaco. Oh, fuck, not Monaco. Anything but that track, please. I understand Monaco's a crown jewel, but that track is fucking terrible. You literally can't fucking pass anywhere. It is literally impossible to pass at that track. It's so narrow. Only way any passing really happens is if it's on fucking pit strategy. It's really just a track position race where track position takes priority over anything else. But I always say is to F1 is that if we're not going to run Monaco on the same weekend as the Coca-Cola 600 and the Indy 500, can we have Monaco down at night, please? Because I've run Monaco in the F1 games at night, and that track looks absolutely beautiful at night. We need a Monaco night race. If anyone wants a Monaco night race, raise your hand. Anyway, let's now talk about the Cup race, the throwback race at Darlington. Well, the first 25 laps are pretty interesting. When Harvick started off with the lead, then Kyle Busch takes the lead after a few laps. And then Martin Truex Jr. would run him down, but right before the competition caution to allow in lap 24-25. When Truex would take the lead as Kyle Busch was getting the right rear flat tire, and then Kyle Busch would spin out. And then that would end up being the competition caution. And then really after that, the race really became the Truex show right after that. Where Truex, because once Truex took the lead after that, he never had to look back. Because he straight up bitch slapped the field once again. And completely dominated this race. I mean, it was okay race though, despite it though. It was pretty meh. Like, it wasn't a good race, but it wasn't terrible. Like, there were a lot of passes in the field for position, but Truex just flat out dominated this race. Like, nobody had an answer for him. Despite Kyle Larson's best efforts at the end to try and catch and pass Truex at the end. And even Larson threading the needle when trying to get through Ryan Newman and Tyler Reddick there. That was a really good move by Larson there. Despite Larson trying to thread the needle, it still wasn't enough. And yeah, just Truex had a better car than Larson at the end of it all. So Martin Truex Jr. comes through and he gets his third win of the season. Damn. So yeah, and all three of Truex's wins have come under the 750 horsepower package. Which is the package that will be running the championship race. Yeah, it's safe to say Martin Truex Jr. is easily the championship favorite. It's going to be a championship favorite this year. I mean, it's kind of weird though. I am starting to sense a pattern here with the championships and the Toyota teams. I'm going to wait to mention that pattern until we get to the chase predictions. Because with this pattern, I think a lot of people might have a good idea where I'm going to go for my championship prediction this year. Because I'm starting to sense a pattern somewhere. And what is that pattern? You have to tune in September to find out. But yeah. So yeah, that's now 3 wins for Truex this year. And also William Byron makes history, becoming the youngest driver in NASCAR history to have 10 consecutive top 10 finishes. Congrats to Byron on that one. Tip of the cap to him. And also with that, Byron becomes the first Hendrick driver to have 10 consecutive top 10 finishes since Jeff Gordon in 2007. And oh, by the way, the end result of Jeff Gordon's season that year, that was the year Gordon had 30 top 10 finishes and ended up finishing second to Jimmy Johnson in the championship, in the chase. What will Byron do this year now when he has 10 consecutive top 10 finishes? And he's also the highest ranked Hendrick driver in points. Because while Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson have been battling for 1 and 2, William Byron has come out of nowhere and passed both of them in points. So it looks like William Byron's finally having a breakout season. Would you love to see that? So hey, congrats to Byron on a little career milestone there. Well deserved from him. He's really proven himself this year. Now, if he can get a couple more wins this year, that would also be great too. Maybe Hendrick Motorsports will have 3 drivers worth a damn. But yeah. And as we're going to wrap this review up and get ready for Dover next week, I should also mention, remember back in the Throwback Paint Scheme reaction video when I said that NASCAR was skinning F1 alive? Well, guess what? We have 2 more examples of NASCAR skinning F1 alive. Mainly one involving the Gen 7 car, which those cars actually look fucking beautiful. If anyone wants my thoughts on the cars, they look fucking beautiful. How they perform on the track, that's yet to be decided. I'm not going to judge the book by its cover. I'm going to wait and see how the tests with multiple cars go, and then I'm going to give my real thoughts from there. Like, I'm not going to judge the car based on how it looks. I want to judge it by performance. Because some fans go quantity over quality. I'm a fan that goes quality over quantity. I want to see what the on-track product is. It may look good and all, but all I care about is how does that car perform well on the track with multiple cars. So until I see that test session, I'm not going to go into further comments on the car. It looks good, but I'm going to wait off on it until I see how it performs. Because that's just how I am. I'm built different from other fans. But anyway, back on that point though, we have 2 more examples of NASCAR skinning F1 alive. Say hello to the one lug nut wheels. Yep, NASCAR's going to go all in with that one lug nut wheels. Honestly though, it might be good now, because now we may no longer have loose lug nut penalties anymore and all that bullshit. And loose wheels. So now there's no more excuses. So now the pit stops could be now under 4-tire pit stops could be under 10 seconds. And all this really does now is make the gas man's job even harder, because now they definitely can't have no mistakes in getting all the fuel in the car. And we're not stopping there, because we have example number 5, which relates to the 2022 schedule coming out. Because whenever how NASCAR added 7 road courses on the schedule this year, well, we're looking at even more in 2022, because say hello to street circuits. Because NASCAR is really thinking about adding street circuits to the schedule. Mainly the 3 cities I've been hearing reports of have been Chicago, Denver, and even Mexico City. I'm not 100% sure why they would want to go on the streets of Mexico. I don't understand what the problem is with Autodromos F1 track, the track that Autodromos track that F1 runs on. I don't understand the issue with that track. But hey, you know, NASCAR has a master plan, and it's to copy and skin F1 alive. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if NASCAR goes all in with it, and if in a couple years we see NASCAR scrap the chase, and we go straight to an F1 season-long F1 style points format. Because let's be real, NASCAR's never gonna go back to the 2003 format. As much as the fans want it, it's never gonna happen. The only way I think we could ever come close to that is if the schedule goes down to like 30 races or something. It's never gonna happen under a 36 race schedule. The closest we'll come to it is either A, we go back to the 2004 chase format, or B, which is what I'm betting on, NASCAR scraps it and we go to an F1 style points format where it's like top 10 or top 15 the top 10 or top 15 finishers are the only drivers that gets points in a race, and then everybody else gets 0. Just to create more drama and excitement with a season-long points format. So for anyone begging for a season-long points format, all I just gotta say is, be careful what you wish for. It might come back to bite you in the ass. But yeah, I would not be shocked about that, because we all know NASCAR's trying to copy F1. Anyone that can't see that, well, you're gonna need better glasses than this shit I'm wearing on my face. But yeah, anyway, that's gonna wrap it up here. That's all I gotta say. On the Dover next week. One of Larson's better tracks. And keep in mind, the last time Larson ran at Dover, he won. Can Larson do it again? Maybe. And then COTA in 2 weeks, where Chase Elliott could get a win too, finally. We'll have to see, though. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. NASCAR Heavyweight Champ, out. Hope everyone enjoyed Throwback Weekend.